Now, one of the competitors you saw make a phone call from the Oval Office there at the George Bush Library is sitting here with us now, Benjamin Rossen. Welcome.
Yes, thank you for having me, guys. Thank you.
Okay, you're a fan of Stravinsky, yes?
Right, that's
He would be happy to know that. Okay, Benjamin caused a lot of material for conversation during the competition because he programmed in his preliminary round the Stravinsky Serenade in A for piano, which both Rachel and I thought was a very bold choice. And it set off this conversation, which has continued throughout the competition, about programming to one's strengths instead of programming to what you think a jury might want to hear, because that worked well for you to program that piece. So what do you think about that, Sean? Before we get
I think it's a balance. You definitely want your own voice and something that says, like, because they're going to hear so many people. So sometimes the repertoire allows you to stick in their minds a little bit longer. Obviously, you have to play well, but there is I have run into a situation where something I played was too off the beaten path, where they don't know what to say about it or think about it. And so it depends. You have to do some research on who's on the jury and things like that. But
the Serenade in A was standard enough, right?
Yeah.
To program in a competition. And then later, you had a little session with Sean on Rite of Spring? Is that
That's right, yeah.
So did you read through the whole thing?
first part.
We went through the first part, yeah. And that was exhilarating. I mean, I've never gotten the opportunity to play just such a jarring work, yet just so revolutionary. And yeah, I enjoyed it.
It was. We were reading. I mean, there were a lot of. On my part, there was. I'm sure it was all fine on your part, but there was a lot of wrong notes
Hey,
and
well,
wrong
we
counting.
started together, we ended together.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know, a lot of orchestras both start and end together, and they think they think that's doing well.
Pretty good.
In Rite of Spring. So, what do you think about when you're playing on stage, Benjamin? What are you thinking?
Yeah, well,
what does it feel like?
Sure. I mean, I get on stage. Obviously, there's some nerves, and you bow and you sit on the piano. I think when I try to play my program, I think some people think they're envisioning a forest or they're envisioning a river or whatever, but I tend to think more in the abstract, if you will. Especially for the program here, I was just trying to demonstrate, you know, there's some like intellect within the programs, or here I wanted to just show some more passion. Just those adjectives, I think.
Yeah. You tend to skew more toward the 20th century. I noticed that your concerto that you brought here was the Bartok first piano concerto, not so often played, and Rudolf Serkin made the most brilliant recording of it. It's just such an unlikely person to record that, but you brought that. You had the Scriabin du Poème.
Yes.
So, when in the best of all possible worlds, when you're choosing repertoire with your teacher, does it skew more toward the 20th and 21st century for you?
I think it happens that, I guess my style has evolved, and so I have this sort of mathematical, like intellectual curiosity. So definitely 20th, 21st century that deals with it. But I think also I try to balance my needs as a pianist, you know, the facility or producing a larger sound. So obviously I will try to play the Brahms and the Beethoven. But I think just to separate myself a little bit, try to get that interest in there. Yeah.
Do you think, is the piano a natural thing for you? Does it feel natural to play the piano?
I think so. Yeah, I mean...
It's a very weird question.
Yeah, if it wasn't natural, I think, it would be kind of awkward, especially for the kind of pieces I like to play. And they're definitely more awkward. Yeah.
How old were you when you started?
I was around 4 or 5.
Perfect age,
So
I think.
Start reaching. Not all of the icons.
Right, you can start reaching stuff.
Yeah.
Benjamin also played a fantastic Chopin F sharp major Polonaise in the quarterfinals. So you've pretty much got it covered.
What's something you're looking forward to learning? That's like, kind of interesting maybe for the audience to think about.
Actually, it's not too ironic, but actually Romantic Concerti, because I've done the Beethoven and Mozart, and on the other spectrum, Bartok, and some more contemporary. But I think if I can present Romantic Concerti and these war horses in a way that's refreshing, maybe the nuances, like with the harmonies and the tensions, you know, just they're so profound, and maybe I'll try to bring a little spin to it, perhaps. Yeah, so, it's something interesting and something unexpected. Yeah.
How contemporary do you go? What's the latest thing that you've played?
Oh, well, the latest is actually something I would play in the semifinal round by Henry Martin. And he's a professor down in New Jersey. And he has this series of Prelude and Fugues. And they're based off of Bach's Waltz pour Clavier, but he combines these multi-genre aspects. And you have like this
Like
jazz.
what?
Yeah, well, you have,
Multi-genre?
yeah, like jazz, even this ragtime one and the tango, for example. So that's really interesting for me.
Does he have one in every key?
Yeah,
Like
I
Bach?
believe, yeah, 2 books. Yeah, same structure. Yeah.
So does music like Pierre Boulez, does that interest you?
To some extent, I'm trying to explore further. But again, especially for audiences and trying to attract audiences, I think you have to have a degree where it is intellectual and you have mathematics involved. But I think if it gets too much like that, you lose the art or the passion that you want from the music, or just that foundation that people love. Yeah.
Right, you sure don't want a whole program of it.
Do you
Yeah.
do you do any composing yourself?
Yeah, I dabble in it, and I'm really interested in that multi-genre fusion style. So I've been experimenting with that. Of course, not as serious as per se as I am on the piano, but definitely experimenting and trying to get my feet wet.
What about music and other genres, combining music and something else, music and dance, music and film, that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Does that interest you as well?
Yeah, well, actually, I go to public high school in Great Neck, New York, and down there I hold the Music Creators Society, which is it's an after-school program for high school students, and we actually do exactly what you said. We combine. It can be rock music or jazz or classical, and we combine it with artists and writers, and we have these almost interdisciplinary concerts and like literary magazines. So I think, that's really interesting.
That's actually kind of
exciting.
interesting. Can you tell me what happens on one of those concerts? Or
Sure, yeah. So we had this, it's a contest, a competition, where we have different groups playing. And for example, there was this one group that did this rock opera. So that was, you had a narrator and a singer and a couple actors, and you had the scene. And then you had the background, not background music, but you had a band in the back. And I was on the piano doing, so.
did you create the Music Creators Society?
Yeah.
Is that your thing?
This was I think 2 years ago, yeah.
So what do you do in your spare time, Benjamin? Do
Well,
you have any spare time?
Yeah, it's hard to say, especially now I'm a junior, so juggling all the academics and the music. But yeah, I think spare time really is the music, and other than piano, like I said, composition.
And you play the French horn, is that right?
That's right. Yeah. So I do.
You chose a hard one, right? That's
Yeah.
you
It was
never
out
know.
of, it was out of necessity.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah. Well, I was in middle school. I was playing the trumpet, and then my teacher asked me to learn the horn because no one was playing it, which that was inevitable. So now I double major in Manhattan School of Music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, piano and horn.
Wow,
Yeah.
because you never know what's going to come out of one of those things, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a temperamental instrument,
Yeah.
right?
Right. For sure.
But the most epic licks in all of orchestral repertoire.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't play for like 30 bars and then you get this like awesome thing, and then
Absolutely.
you rest again. For
It's so
30 bars.
satisfying.
But then
Yeah.
those 30 bars are such agony, right?
I
Because
know.
you're thinking,
Wow.
you're just thinking in 30 bars, I have to be on in a
Right.
very,
And
very
you have
big
to
way.
nail it.
That is what the difference is really between orchestral playing and any other
Yes.
kind of playing. Is you sit and you sit and you sit,
Right.
and then you're on in a very, very, very big way, and then you sit some more,
Right.
and then
Oh,
it's
sure.
just this. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like boredom, terror,
Right.
boredom, terror. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going to ask you the awful question that nobody likes, which is, what are you gonna do with your life, Benjamin? What do you think? What are you thinking?
All right. I gotta think. No, I think, yeah. No, it's gonna definitely take a while. And actually, my answer is it's going to take a while because I have many interests, as I've said, and really trying to hone down and trying to pinpoint exactly what it is, it's hard to say, really. And especially I'm young and
Right.
kind of,
But
yeah.
it's going to be music
Oh, yeah.
involved,
Yeah.
music involved.
Yeah,
I assume.
Yeah, it's just exactly what it will be.
Yeah.
And classical music will be my passion. I mean, it's just so rich. But
Do you think that it's? Do you think that it's important or crucial to hone it down to one thing, or do you think you can do a lot of things? This is not a trick question.
Sure. Well, I think maybe, and I'm looking at patterns of musicians today, whether it be classical musicians or other musicians. I think if you're able to hone on one specific thing that you're known for and you become popular for that, audiences love it, maybe you'll have the liberty to afterwards kind of branch out a little bit. So if you're all over the place, who's your audience exactly?
Right.
And that might be hard.
When do you do your practicing?
Oh.
When do you?
Are you a
seem
morning
like
person? Are you a night person?
No, I'm a night person,
He
for sure.
seems like a
Yeah.
busy guy, though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're just wondering when you fit all that in.
Right. Well, it's more like an afternoon night thing. Yeah, after school I try to practice. Yeah.
So like it's not. We were talking to another kid,
Right.
and he said he practiced before school for an hour, and then after school. So yours is all after school.
Usually, yeah, after school.
So is your school day like a normal school day? It starts like at 8 a.m. and it goes till 4 and stuff like that. And
Exactly.
then-
Yeah.
So your days are long.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. I mean, I try to do some homework in school. Try to minimize that so I can, save the time for music, of course.
So when does your homework get done? Is there such a thing? Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's such
He
a
does it
thing.
during class.
Yeah. Well, oh, no. Well, I don't want to see teachers out there.
Is
No,
that what you
no,
did?
no, no.
Is that what you did?
I think students optimize. If sometimes you just want to start the homework now so that you don't have to do it later.
Optimizing.
Optimizing.
That is the key.
What is it like going down to Manhattan School? Is it every weekend that you go?
Yes. Yeah. Every Saturday.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us a
Yeah,
little about
sure.
what that's like?
That takes a full day. I go. This semester it was 10 to 6.
Wow.
And again, I do the double major in
Right.
horn and piano, so that's a combination of orchestra and my lesson for horn, and then piano and chamber music. And then also you have the music theory, the ear training, and music history. So really, it's just a very holistic
Right.
education. I think, yeah, definitely Manhattan School of Music focuses on that holistic approach. And also, I think the classes work together in a sense. They serve one another. So it's really nice, and the community is really welcoming, and they supported me coming here, which is really great. Yeah.
Awesome.
Do you like being in that environment? I guess opposed to, because I also went to public school, and it's a different
Yeah.
kind of feel, right?
Yeah.
Even if they're artistically supportive,
Yeah.
it's like very different.
Yeah, I mean, actually, the majority of the students there are also very high achieving in academics. So, yeah, it is in a sense the structure of the day is different, but I guess the community is somewhat similar. But also at the same time, the teachers, they have a different perspective on the whole system, and that changes.
I want to get back to practicalities because I didn't even think about you have to practice the French horn every day too.
Yeah, well, that actually comes in wind ensemble and kind of playing then.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's
you
when
can't
he's
practice
optimizing.
too much on French horn because
That's
you can
really
ruin
true.
your chops.
You can
yeah,
learn
the
this.
embouchure, exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So he is optimizing in wind
Picking
ensemble.
one instrument where you have to practice a lot when you don't have to.
So you're going to practice a lot this summer?
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely try. I mean, college auditions are coming up, and hopefully I'll be able to compete. But I also have some festivals. I do one down in Silicon Valley area. Yeah, Music at Menlo. It's a chamber music
Yeah.
festival.
Yeah.
The people at CMS at Lincoln Center.
Yeah.
So that's
This will be your first summer or your second? or third?
fourth.
Fourth.
Fourth summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Veteran.
You should get the T-shirt and a ring by now. Right?
Yeah.
That's right. I have some shirts in the dorm. So.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So what repertoire is next? What do you want to learn? Did you hear something here that it's like, yeah, I've got to learn that now?
Yeah, well, I've been listening to a lot of the competitors, and my teacher was here, and so, I mean, he said, wait until the competition's over. I have some things to show you. But I think building up concerti, that was a pattern I've heard in a lot of the discussions.
Yeah.
Having, I guess, even 15 to 20. I mean, that's a lot for sure, but I think it might be necessary down that path.
It is.
Yeah.
It
so,
is, absolutely.
Yeah.
Benjamin, best of luck to you.
Thank you guys
Thanks
so
for
much.
talking
It was
with us.
great to have
it was
you here.
wonderful.